Hi Booktube, and welcome to my latest video, which is a tag video. It's the Booktube Watching Tag, and I was tagged by Sean the Book Maniac. And if you don't know who Sean the Book Maniac is, shame on you. Go and check him out, because in addition to being sort of witty and entertaining, he's probably the most creative and innovative booktuber that I've come across. He does these unique tags, such as the page 112 tag, or the Parasite tag, and he's also sometimes in parallel to his wrap-ups and reviews, he does his bail wrap-ups. That's books that he's sampled and they're not for him, and he's put them aside, and which is something I'm going to have to learn to do, and I'll probably have to enter therapy, because in all my life I think I've only ever abandoned 15 books, but more power to Sean's elbow, because at this time of my life it's a skill I wish I could adapt. So here we go. This is all about your sort of watching other booktubers' habits. So question 1, how many channels are you subscribed to? Well, I don't know, because it's not easy to tell, but I've got about 220 followers, and I reckon, because I follow any booktuber back who follows me, I reckon probably about 120, 140 of those are fellow booktubers. So I'm guessing around 120 to 140. Question 2, when do you normally watch booktube? Well, although I don't have a sort of set time, I do tend to be a bit habitual. So in my my lunch hour at work, it provides a very pleasant diversion. I always used to sort of eat lunch at my desk and do stuff on my computer that was personal to me, but now I have the pleasure of watching booktube. So I log on to YouTube, and I have all the alerts, so I happily click on them and pass a very merry hour listening with headphones, I hasten to add. And the other time I really mainly focus it is when I first come home from work and I'm knackered. I'm not really fit for anything, so that's also a good time to watch videos. But if I get an alert and I'm sat down and sort of half watching the TV at 11 PM and I get an alert to a new video, I'll probably watch it there and then. Question 3, how do you balance booktube watching, reading and making your own videos? Well, the first thing is that I make my videos really quickly. I have minimal production values. I don't edit other than sort of top and tail. So I can turn my videos around really quickly. That's the first thing. I don't sort of script them or plan them ahead in advance. Reading, I tend to read in the bath when I have nice long soaks for an hour. On my daily commute to work, and occasionally I will read in the evening, but certainly not every night. So those are my sort of prescribed reading times. And watching booktube videos, as I said, is when those times at work and stuff. So I haven't really found it a problem balancing them, but I am a writer as well, and I'm in sort of quite a quiet period as a writer, because I can't really start anything new, because I've got a book coming out in the next 2 months. So no doubt it will all get a bit frenetic in the build up to that. Question 4, is there a difference between making videos you like watching and videos you like making? Well, not really, although, as I say, when you get creative videos like the page 112 tag from Sean, I watch those with I couldn't do them, but I'm sort of full of admiration for them. So the only thing I'd say is I wish there were more book review videos and maybe less of the sort of the tags and all that, which I'm as guilty as anyone as. But what I like making most are review or author spotlight videos, and I just wish they were a bit more frequent throughout BookTube. But booktubers are entitled to make what videos they like. Question 5, who's the first booktuber you subscribed to, and do you still watch them? Well, I don't know exactly who the first one is, but I suspect it was Eric Carl Anderson, The Lonesome Reader, because I didn't know of booktube's existence, and I can't even remember the genesis of how I came by him and by it. I suspect I'd read a book, just either put the author or put the book's name in YouTube because I wanted to get some more stuff on it, and it was presented with an Eric video. And yes, I do still very much watch him without fail, because he's one of the best. Question 6, who's the most recent booktuber you subscribed to? I think it's probably the Joycean Book Nerd over in America, who by her name is someone who's sort of into James Joyce. So I'm really looking forward to sort of watching her videos. I think at this point in time she's only done 2 videos, but she's great. We've already sort of swapped comments and stuff on each other's videos. I'm not going to compare her to the Joyce of Booktube with me as Samuel Beckett accompanying her on the piano. Well, I just have. Question 7, share an old favourite booktuber. Well, I've only been in Booktube for probably around a year. Well, no, I've actually been aware of Booktube for about 6 months, but I was making videos before I joined Booktube, book review videos. So I'm not really aware of the history of Booktube, so I don't know who's been around and who hasn't. I suspect 2 people who have been in it for a long time, just judging by things they say when they make discussion videos. One is Bald Book Geek, and the other is Dane Cobain at Dane Reads. I think they've both been around a long time, and they're two of the best. They're top booktubers. 8, share a new favourite booktuber. Well, I'm going to go for the Siblings Talk Books, which I subscribed to recently. It's a brother and a sister up in York in the northwest of England, and so I don't know their names. The male reads mainly non-fiction and reviews non-fiction, particularly biographies, and the female reads fiction, mainly thriller mystery. And there's just something about the sort of the presentation of this brother and sister team that I find really engaging, because I don't really share any of their books. I'm unlikely to read any of the books they talk about, and I suspect they're unlikely to be interested in the books I talk about. But I find that something about their presentation really charming. Question 9. What is one of your Booktube pet peeves? Well, there's several, but they're sort of different levels of responsibility. So the first one is down to Booktube, which is really poor sound quality. There's a couple of videos that I find it really hard to hear what they're saying. And in the past I've made some really dodgy sound quality videos when I haven't sort of checked that my mic was working properly. So we all do it, but I guess in a way although it's very tedious, if the sound's not up to scratch, we really should go back and re-record it. So that's the first thing, which is something that I think we can control. The second is more to do with YouTube itself. When you get alerts, and if you don't click on them in a certain time, you click on it and nothing happens. So you have to go through a much more sort of Byzantine system to actually get to play the videos, and sometimes I don't even get alerts from people, and I'm sure I've clicked on the little bell icon to make sure that I get alerts to new videos. Many booktubers I do, but there's some that I just seem to miss, so that's irritating, but that's not booktubers' fault. Question 10, what have you learned from watching other booktubers? Well, I've learned about tag videos for one, because as I say, before I discovered Booktube, I was just putting out videos about books and author spotlights. That's all I was doing. I didn't know there's all this sort of wonderful creative content, such as tags and discussions and wrap-ups, and I didn't do any of that because I didn't know it existed. I tried one creative thing for myself, which was to unhaul through a book swap, whereby I wanted to get rid of these books, and I thought a creative way to do it is to offer them as a sort of a swap with other booktubers, but that hasn't taken off at all, so that as creative content fell flat. Question 11, optional, tag some of your favourite booktubers. Well, I think most of the booktubers I follow have probably done this, because I've seen an awful lot of them. So I'm not going to particularly tag anyone other than say, if you feel like doing this, then please go ahead and do it. In the box below, I shall put the name of the Booktube channels I mentioned, but please do make sure you subscribe to Sean the Book Maniac, because I think he's a bit of an unheralded genius of Booktube. So there you have it. Thanks very much. Till next time.